let's just put us in a setting. In a setting, we're in the so-called biblical days. Israel is in the land. Everybody's in the land. All these people are in the same land because it's the same land. Nothing changes. But along comes a scene. The Savior comes on the scene, born of a woman, and he is to save his people, or he is to save the people of the world, because he does indicate that he was sent to the world and to save the world and all this. But anyway, we're going to look at the wording that is used, because you're supposed to be dealing with all these people. And if you are the Son of God that's sent to deal with people, you're going to be dealing with the people that his children dealt with, or the people that are of the region and areas where God's children are. So let's just look at Exodus first. Let's start there. Let's look at Exodus 3 and 8, and let's read about some of the names. And this is just to give you some of the names of these people that always were dealing with the children of God. It says, "And I am come down to deliver them out of the land of the Egyptians." That's first, the Egyptians. "And to bring them up out of that land unto a good land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto a place of the Canaanites," that's another one, "the Hittites," that's another one, "the Amorites," that's another one, "and the Perizzites," that's another, "and the Hivites," Hivite, whatever, however that goes, y'all read it, "and the Jebusites." Now, I just named you about 8. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's about 7 or 8 names of people that the Hebrew Israelites, the children of the living God, were involved with in this region, in this area. Spread out all over were these different people, all these different nations. And so, those were the names of most of the people that Israel had dealings with. Then we know we get over there with Herob, and we get over there with the Babylonians and all that. So, but let's just take a look. I want y'all to understand how important words are when you read them, so that you can get an idea exactly what we're talking about. Now, let's go to Luke 23 and 38. Let's read that. "And a superscription also was written over him in letters of Greek and Latin and Hebrew. This is the King of the Jews." Now, first of all, I just named you all the people, pretty much the majority of the people that were around the Hebrew Israelites, or that had anything to do with the Hebrew Israelites. There were no Greek and there were no Latin. Now, he's throwing Hebrew in because wherever this mythical place is that he is with all these people, he has to make sure that the Hebrews are put in there to say the word Hebrew, because that's the familiarity to make you feel like this has something to do with the Hebrew Israelites. But then let's see what he says, though. He says, "This is the King of the Jews." Now, I want to make something else clear to you. Most of you believe, because you've been taught foolishness in the New Egypt, that Jew means Israel, or the Jewish people, or the people of God, or the chosen, or the Hebrew Israelites. No, it can't mean that. You said that Jew was short for Judah. Well, if Jew is short for Judah, then what's the other 11 tribes? Where are they at? Are they just thrown away if Jew is short for Judah? So we know he's not talking about the Hebrew Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, automatically. Then he says he's the king of these people. And we know that the Jews in biblical days worked in the temple with the priests. They were workers that came from another region. They were the people who built buildings. They were contractors. They knew how to build walls. And so they helped in the building of the temple. So when Lucifer, aka Jesus, comes on the scene talking about all this stuff that the sign was written over his head, why wouldn't it have been written in? Let's see. Hold on. Because see, we're dealing with the people in that day and where he would have been around. So why wouldn't it be written in Egyptian, in the Canaanites writing, in the Hittites writing, in the Amorites, in the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites? Where do you jump all the way over to just Greek and Latin and then Hebrew? So in other words, not even the people that you're the king of, it's written in their letter. It's written for them to be able to read it, and you're not even their king. Oh, well, let's keep on going. Let's see here. Let's look at let's go to John 19 and 20. Let's see what that says. This title then read many of the Jews, for the place where Jesus was crucified was nigh in the city, and it was written in Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. As I say again, we're stressing, you came to die for the world. You came to die for all people. But it's only visible, and then you're going to get these idiots that say, well, right there where he was, but wait, why would he be right there with a bunch of Jews and Greeks whom here you are with Greeks and Jews, and the Hebrew Israelites never were with the Greeks and Jews. So why would he come to a place where there are no Hebrew Israelites, that he's got to make a sign if some pass through and they see it? Why wouldn't he be in a region where all the Jebusites and the Perizzites and all the other sites are? But no, he's in with the Jews and the Greeks. Let's keep on going. We're going to get down here and we're going to look at... Now, remember what Jesus said. It was for the Jew, the Greek, and the Latin, and the Hebrew. He named those four. All right? Now, if he died for them, and his crucifixion was for the Jews and the world, then why would you say neither? Okay, let's look at that. Let's look at this. Because I said it's all in the wording. 1 Corinthians 1 and 24. But unto them which are called, both Jews and Greeks, wait. Where are the Hebrews? No Hebrews are called? See, it's all in the wording. You have to know what you're reading when you read it. Christ, the power of God and the wisdom of God. So now it's just Jews and Greeks, to them that are called. Galatians 2 and 28. There is neither Jew nor Greek. Okay, wait. Didn't I just read, but unto them which are called, both Jews and Greeks? Then we get to Galatians and he says, there is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female. So there are no Jews and there are no Greeks. There are no bondmen or free men or women. There is no male nor female. So that eliminates and that erases everybody that ever existed in Jew and in Greek. Because he just said neither. Neither removes. Neither is negative. Neither is no. Then he says, for ye are all one in Christ Jesus. That makes no logical sense whatsoever. Now y'all try to make sense of this gargle. Y'all try to make sense of it because you want to prove that this Lucifer, whom said he was going to exalt himself above the Most High God, is his son. But his very own words denounce his very existence. Let's go to Colossians 3:11. Where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcised nor uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, that's another nation, another people, another group of people that aren't mentioned in the Old Testament, bond or free, but Christ is all and in all. So now you're seeing that the barbarian, that's what Christ is. Didn't he just say, listen, where there is no Greeks, no Jews, no circumcision, no uncircumcision, no barbarian, no Scythians, bond or free. But what? But Christ is all. So eliminate all that. He's a barbarian. He's a Jew. He's a Greek. He's circumcised. He's uncircumcised. He's bond. He's free. He's all of this. He is. Not them. Because when you first read that, he says neither nor. You have to know how to read. Now, you're throwing yourself in there. Oh, that means that none of them are unsaved because of Jesus. That's not what it said. He eliminated them. He eliminated everything he said and said he was all. That means he's the barbarian. He's the Greek. He's the Jew. Some of y'all will get that. Some of y'all will get it. Now, everybody knows that Lucifer, aka, came and he was crucified, right? He was nailed to the cross. Now, most of y'all don't know your God. Most of y'all don't know the Hebrew God because the Hebrew God don't deal with any blemishes, any marks, any cuttings, or any writings on anyone. Okay? So we're going to deal with this man and his being nailed and let y'all get an understanding over how this man could never have been a sacrifice for the Most Holy. First of all, we just read, just to clarify, so y'all will know that all these heathens and all this bad stuff and bad people, he said he was all that. But y'all don't know how to read it. He said he was all these things. Now, let's take a look at John 20 and 25. The other disciples, therefore, said unto him, We have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, Except I shall see in his hands. That's Thomas. In his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not believe. Now, everybody knows the reason why this man had all this doubt, and the reason why this man said all this stuff, was because this stuff was so far-fetched. The things that he was coming and saying he was doing didn't line up with anything that the people knew or would ever take place or could ever be a part of anything dealing with God. Now, he said he was the high priest. Listen, he's the priest. This is the priest of God that's going to have all these cuts and marks and blemishes and bruises all over him. Let's see what God has to say about it. Let's go to Leviticus 22. See, we're going to throw this out the window about Jesus being sacrificed. There's no way. First of all, he couldn't have been sacrificed because he said he was the heathen, the Jew, the Greek, and all. God would never accept that for a sacrifice. Men do not sacrifice themselves. No man. I don't care who you are. There's no male or female sacrifice for God.